Oh, funny guy. There he is. He's ready. Coming on stage for the first time, Alan Salzbank. Come on, give him a hand. Hi everybody, thanks for coming out. This is great. I'm very excited to be here. Although I gotta admit, I didn't think I'd make it. My way is very aggressive though. Down the shortcut. First time ever, it took me through a car wash. But it got me here on time, I must admit. I would have been about 10 minutes earlier, but I figured, I'm here anyway, I may as well get the hot wax. So, it's official. After 40 years managing money, I'm now retired. Not that big a deal. That's what all old people say when they've lost their job. But it's not like I got fired, though. It's really, what happened is, after 40 years, one by one, my clients started dropping off, They realized that I really suck at managing money. So, I'm not sure I'm going to do with stand-up comedy. It's so far so good, I guess, but I'm not sure how to... Well, thank you. It's really not clear, though, that if it's going to work out. But the good news is that no matter how it works out, you guys, unlike my clients, will still have most of your life savings when it's over. I have one of those, my credit cards. Everybody have those credit cards where you get reward miles, you know what I'm saying? So I have one of those cards, my wife and I. And we get 2 miles for every dollar we spend. And last year we spent a fortune. We racked up a lot of credit card debt. Now we have that debt and a bunch of miles. We're using the miles, though. We're using the miles for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to bankruptcy court. Go know that in New York, in New York you can only file bankruptcy once in a lifetime. I didn't realize that. So I have a friend. He's a real jerk. He's a friend, but he's a jerk. A real jackass. Every time I see him, he's always bragging about his new Mercedes, an expensive car. I meet him at a restaurant the other day, comes up to me and he starts right in. He goes, "Al, I don't know if I told you, but I spent a fortune on this car. I spent a lot of money. I don't know if I told you how much, but it's a lot, let me tell you. And but it's the greatest. It has an amazing GPS system, unbelievable security system, and the best part, this is the best part, is that every time it backs up, it beeps. I say, look, my car doesn't beep, my car doesn't do any of that stuff. But I just found out that sometimes when it backs up, it makes this horrible crunching sound. I should leave it there. But, by the way, Arnie, you might want this copy of my insurance. So, I'm lucky that I don't have to use that car for commuting anymore. I don't commute anymore. And I don't have to listen to those ridiculous traffic reports on the radio. I used to hate those things. Now when I need traffic information, I tune into News 12 Long Island. Anybody know their slogan? It's as local news gets. I was a bit skeptical at first. But then one morning the traffic reporter comes on and says, "Hey Alan, better watch out, there's a car blocking your driveway." Oh, by the way, it's a good thing my mother-in-law's here. That cuts my act in half. So, there's one thing about driving to work, that's tough enough. But everything's tough now. There's no easy way to get to work. Even walking to work is a problem. I was in the city with my brother. He's here. He won't remember this story partially because he's old, and then partially because it's not true. We're walking down Fifth Avenue, And Michael nearly gets knocked over by a guy walking in the other direction. So he regains his balance, and he says, Alan, they should really pass a law or something where people have to look up from their smartphones once in a while and watch where they're going. I said, no, Mike, you got it all wrong. They don't need to pass a new law. What they need to do is get rid of a law. They got to get rid of a law. Well, how's that going to help? What law are they going to get rid of? The pooper scooper law. That'll make them watch where they're going. So now that I'm getting older, I really have to watch what I eat. I mean, it's terrible. I love watermelon, but I find that I can't eat it anymore. It acts like it's like a time-release diuretic. That's what it is. I mean, I have one piece in the morning and I'm peeing all day long. It's just terrible. I'm also worried about diabetes. So, best solution for that is I do a lot of exercise and I cut out sugar. I don't eat sugar at all. Cut it out altogether. So now I lost a little weight and I feel pretty good. I have a lot more energy and I could get by with a lot less sleep. You know what I mean? A lot less sleep. So now, it's a good thing, by the way, because now I lie awake all night thinking how much I miss sugar and watermelon. But I also have to cut down on my sitting. Everybody know the stories, you read them on the news, that sitting is the new smoking. Not sure why we had to replace smoking with anything, but sitting is the new smoking. And I think that's true. I mean, it's bad for you. Let's face it, too much sitting is not good. And it's addictive. And boy, I got a bad case of it. I'm really hooked. The other day, I actually bummed the seat off a guy on the subway. But I gotta quit. So I'm trying this new product by Nicoderm. They're the makers of the patch, the patch you wear on your arm to quit smoking. The thing's working pretty good. The only problem with it is that I have to walk around all day with this adhesive-backed seat cushion strapped to my ass. I don't know, maybe if I had an athletic hobby or something, but I never really had a hobby. The only hobby I can remember is that when I was a little kid, I used to collect baseball cards. I loved it. I had a ton of cards. We took all the good ones, we put them in an old coffee can and hid it in the attic. A couple of years ago, we found the can, tried to sell the cards on eBay. Not one bite. The cards were worthless. But then all of a sudden, I get an email from a guy. He's a collector. I got $89 for the Savrin can. Okay, these last two jokes are really only for Amazon Prime members. So if the non-members leave the room while they're leaving, I'll try and remember what those two jokes are. No, I remember what they were. My wife and I do watch a lot of TV. We watch all sorts of TV. And we love that scene. You know the scene in just about every single movie. You know it. Guy picks up the woman, plops her down on the kitchen counter while she's undoing his belt. I said, after a couple of glasses of wine, I convinced my wife this might be fun. We ought to try it. Well, let me tell you. You might have noticed I'm not that tall. And I'm not nearly as strong as I used to be. And now we have this whole drawer of silverware that we just can't bring ourselves to use anymore. Don't worry, it's almost over. I have this voice-activated remote control. You know the thing. They're not that new, but they're new to me. And now, for some reason, I can't change channels when I'm eating popcorn. And I love popcorn. The other night, I was eating popcorn and I got a kernel stuck in my throat and I start choking, All of a sudden, out of the blue, the TV changes channels and I'm watching some show where they're talking Yiddish. It was a rerun of Hanukkah on Ice. I did find out, though, there's an Israeli show coming up, and it's based on Everyone Loves Raymond. It's called Raymond, Such a Mensch. That's all I got. I'm Alan Salzbank. Enjoy the rest of your night.